I'm Sushmita. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So I'm a YouTube newbie and this is my second video, and in this video we are going to talk about 5 books which I think new readers can use to get into reading. Also, if you are someone who's new into reading and you are excited to start reading, well, you are my favorite people and you don't know how excited that makes me. So let's begin. The first book that I have is from one of my favorite authors, Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. So this book is, I feel like, a love letter to people. You know, it is a portrayal of everyday struggles people go through and their humanity. I think when I read these books by Fredrik Backman, I feel like he has this great love for human beings, and especially for oddballs and quirky characters. So this book basically revolves around a hostage situation where a very incompetent bank robber comes in and takes over an apartment showing and takes everyone hostage. So during that shutdown, during that hostage situation, we get to know all the characters that are trapped inside the apartment, and we also get to know the bank robber, their story, and you just end up falling in love with people. So most days I am a cynic, and to be very honest, I try to stay away from people because, well, I get irritated easily, which does not make me seem like someone very likable, does it? Well, anyway, when I read this book, I fell in love with people. I adored these characters and I wanted to meet them in person and just, hug them, I think, which is rare for me. So this is what Fredrik Backman does. He makes you fall in love with people, and he turned my cynic heart. So I'm pretty sure you are going to love this book if you want to start reading. So yeah, the next book that I would recommend is M and the Big Hoom by Pinto. And so this book is basically about a small family which consists of the mother M, the father, the big Hoom, and their son and the daughter. The story is written from the perspective of the son, and it basically revolves around M, who suffers from many depressive episodes, and how their family members cope around with it, and how they find moments of joy and little moments of tenderness in between these episodes. So the subject matter seems very depressing, but the book is written with such tenderness that it's witty and it's charming that you tear up at moments, and then at moments the book makes you laugh. So it is a beautiful story. So it beautifully talks about mental health, mental illness, and how it affects the caregivers of the person that suffers from any mental illness. So before this book I hadn't read any book about such issues, but I'm still learning. But this book made me want to learn more about it, about mental health issues, and also how that impacts the people that take care of those people. And yeah, when you read this book, I'm sure you will fall in love with the silently present but tender and very loving the big Hoom. How he loves M, and the love that is shared between M and the big Hoom it just added so much to this story. Sometimes this book feels actually like a very simple, tender love story between the big Hoom and M. And also, bonus is that see how beautiful this book is. See, it's colored edges, and yeah. So you do. Now let's move on to our next book, which is Tuesdays with Mori by Mitch Albom. Okay, so this book was gifted to me by a dear friend, and I have fallen in love with it ever since I read this book. The book basically spans 13 Tuesdays, which are like lessons to the author from his former sociology professor Morrie, who is suffering from ALS. And over the course of these 13 Tuesdays, he passes on lessons of life, of death, and whatever that passes in between. The book, it feels like a warm hug to everyone suffering, and I was struggling with life when I read this book, and it indeed felt like someone came to me and gave me a giant hug and said everything will be okay. And I actually felt okay. So Morrie is basically a teacher that makes us see life, measure success through happiness, through love. And in my life, I have never met such people, such teacher I never had. I'm sure my friend who gifted this book to me, that person, I feel they are like Morrie, and I'm so happy for the students who have them as their teacher. So yeah, please read this book, and I'm sure when you are struggling, pick this up, read through it, read through the chapters, and you will find solace in this book. And I hope it does. The way it helped me, I hope it helps you. So the next book that I have is, see how beautiful it is? Yeah, so it is The Forest of Enchantments by Chitra, Banerjee, Divakaruni. It is basically a reimagination of the Ramayana, which is then portrayed through the eyes of Sita. So it is basically Sitayan. Please note this, that when I'm talking about this book, I'm talking about the characters of this book particularly, and I'm not talking about the actual story, actual tale that is Ramayana. I'm just talking about this book. So the book is written through the eyes of Sita, who is known as the daughter of Earth. And this book so beautifully portrays her as such. When you see her reflections, when you see how she perceives her surroundings, the flowers, the plants, the earth, and you realize that she is so much more than just being a queen or the wife of Rama or the mother of love and Kush. She is such a beautiful person on her own, who's a warrior, who's a healer, who's a mother, who's a daughter, who's a wife, and who's a queen who loves her people. And throughout it, none of the characters are vilified, or none of the characters are, she does not point fingers at anyone, she does not curse anyone, she does not blame anyone, but she just perceives everything that happens through such forgiving and graceful eyes. Graceful? Such forgiving and graceful eyes that makes you see things through a different perspective altogether. And also the writing, it's so lyrical, it's so beautiful. It at times feels like a song, at times feels like a poem, and all in all, I am in love with this book, and I'm sure you are going to love it too. Now let's move on to another book, which is Whereabouts by Jhumpa Lahiri. So Jhumpa Lahiri is again one of my favorite authors, because she writes day-to-day life moments, the little moments in everyday life with such love and affection that for someone who romanticizes life a little too much, that feels like a gentle nod that I get you, sister, I get you. Anyway, so Whereabouts is basically a celebration of day-to-day life, and it navigates the difference between what is loneliness and what is solitude. And you know, if you are someone who likes to have a particular plot, who is into plot driven storylines, this book is not for you. But for those people who like to pick up a book and read through it for the atmosphere it creates, or for the general vibe that the book gives, and this is the book for you. Also, it's divided into small chapters, so you can carry it in your bag, and you know, when you are free, you can open it and move through the pages, flick through the pages, and read each chapter whenever you feel like it. So yeah, for people who are into vibes and who like, you know, to read about everyday life, little nuances, the romanticism of, say, sitting down and enjoying a cup of coffee on a, you know, lazy winter evening. You know, if you are someone who loves to read that kind of things, and if you are into that romance of the mundane, then this book is for you, and I'm sure you are going to love it. So yeah, these are the 5 books that I have for you in this video. I hope you love the books, and I hope that you listen to my recommendation and you read them, and I hope you love them and you stay on to reading, because that makes me very happy. So yeah, if you like the video, then like, share and subscribe. Bye.